It's part 4. Finally got this thing going, the last one. I changed spark plug out. I had the spark plug tester. Where do I got that thing? It's here somewhere. That was there. It's around there somewhere. Well, I got the spark plug tester, and it showed I was getting spark. Well, just because I'm getting spark at the spark plug tester doesn't mean I'm getting spark at the spark plug. Spark plug kept getting really wet. Didn't give it any gas at all. It's dripping out of the bottom of the accelerator diaphragm and the bottom of the carburetor, and it was pouring, dripping gas into it while I started trying to start it, so it was like flooding itself out. That's why I was using starting fluid to get it going. And if you notice so I changed out the spark plug, and that's what I was able to get it to fire. And this has happened to me before. I was like, God, I got spark, and then I change the spark plug out, and it starts right up, and it's junky plug. Why did it start 3 years ago? Maybe the plug was good 3 years ago. It's not anymore. I don't know. When I was driving up the street, that thing kind of died. I was able to find a rebuild carb kit. It has the little diaphragm. It has the needle and seat and everything on this one, so I was lucky. The sprocket down below is only about this big, and I have a sprocket that's probably about this big, that 97 tooth monster. Well, the bike probably weighs 20 pounds and put me on top of it, so that thing's trying to pull 250 pounds around, and it's only 2.5 horsepower motor. Right before it died, when I was going up the hill, I was trying to change the gears and slowing down, trying to change the gears. I got that far by pushing with my feet to get it going. So hopefully I think that if I put that big sprocket on it, it should fit. I should be able to get some momentum out of it. So I'm waiting for the carb kit to come in. Should be in here in the next couple days. And then I'm going to go up to probably O'Reilly's and pick up some 5/16 gas line. Change the gas line out since I'm pulling the line out of the carburetor. Pull the carburetor off it, rebuild it, put it all back together, and maybe I get it to start right. And then once I get it to start right, then I'm going to put that big that big sprocket on it. You have to take the side cover off and everything, and this little bolt right here, and the cover goes down here. It's right up next to get the cover, so you have to take the cover off and I have a little wrench here. Here it is. Little 3/8 wrench, open end. I got in there to take the two little bolts off. Well, here's what's left. When I took this cover off, this is the cover on the bottom. That's where the primer bulb goes. That's the cover. This was all just in pieces. It's just brittle. You can just bend that and it breaks. It just breaks. Yeah, little pieces come off. Now, that's what we're going to do. Hopefully I get this thing started up, and I think I'm going to pull the chain and everything off. I'll get out there, make sure I get started up, and then my next deal is to mount that big chain on that lower sprocket and then add the chain on there, and we'll see where we can go from there. But yep, I got the rebuild kit, and that's what I'm going to do. Alright, well, here it is, Sunday, different day, same shirt. I got up this morning, put my shirt on, and said I'm going to get that thing going today. Don't waste any time. So got the Fat Boy sprocket on there. Hopefully that big old thing will turn fast enough to get us my carcass and this bike up the hill here. So all we got to do is got to give my neighbors a little bit of a rest. It's like 10:30. I'll wait till 11 to fire this thing up. It's so loud. I'll take the dogs for a walk or something. But yep, just got to put the guard on it, put some gas in it, and that's what I'll be taping next. Yes. Got my helmet on, got the cam thing. It should be blinking or on. It's blinking. Okay, that means it's recording. Alright, let's see if this thing will start. Get a little shot of something here. Hopefully it'll start. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. This thing doesn't like to start, does it? Okay. Can't write it. Okay. Can't get it started. Got spark. Starting fluid. It should lick off. Start right up. So I did a compression test on it. I must have hosed the rings on it. It's got like 40 to 45 compression. It's running there for a while. You know, there's 1,000 reasons why some engines run and some don't. I don't know. I've had lawnmowers with bad compression as this one and fire right up. That's my phone. I don't know. I don't know what else I could do on this one to get it to fire up. I'll have to think about it. But for right now, it's done. Got that sprocket and everything on. Okay, well, win some, lose some. Let's see if I can figure this out. If I can't figure it out, then that's the end of this story. Alright, see ya. Bye. Well, this is like the 4th try here. I think I lost some footage. Me trying to get this thing going. It's okay. Just a bunch of cussing and swearing. Nothing you haven't heard before from me. God. Got the starter. Bypassed the starter button. Starter button was bad connection, so I just hot wired it together. So when I plug in the 120 volts, it's going to try to start. Hopefully we can get this thing started. See if I got this thing blinking. Okay, it's blinking. Alright. See if this damn thing will start. Something hanging up there. these on. Okay, well, I tried. I think the compression being off as it is, and at only 45 pounds, has probably when I drove this thing last, I probably maybe broke a ring or something. Maybe that's why it died up there. I thought it might have been running out of gas, but I kind of looked at that tank again. I said, yeah, there should have been gas in there. These 2-cycles have seals that go around the crankcase, and those suck air. It just messes everything up. That spark plug is sparking like crazy. You can see by the electric start, it's turning fast, faster than what I could pull it, and me even shooting a little starting fluid down the spark plug hole and putting the spark plug in there, it should pop off. So there must be, like I said, it's 45 pounds of compression. There's not enough rings there left to guess maybe next time I should start up the engine. I don't know whoever taught me into doing this project, but I think I need to fire them. I need to get rid of them. Got to come up with crazy ideas. Yeah, this thing fired up. Like I said, 3 years ago it fired up on ether. I put some 40-to-1 in, used the electric start, fired right up, ran for about 30-40 seconds, maybe up to a minute. Shut it off, drained the gas out of it, put it back in the shed. But it ran. It ran last time. I got it to run. I don't know why it won't start. I must have really boogered. It must have just decided that it wanted to break a ring or something. I might have to take this thing apart and see what's wrong here with this thing. Why I can't get it going. It's very disappointing. Went to all that work to get that big sprocket on her. I know that sprocket would have pulled my fat butt around if I would have got this thing going. But I guess it wasn't meant to be. Alright, well, this is Rick. Thanks for following along. Next time I have an engine I'm going to have to make sure I start the engine first. This thing ran last time I used it. Alright, see ya. Bye. Alright, we're back a week later to see if we can't get this thing started. We went camping for the weekend. I thought of a few things. I checked the flywheel keyway, that was good. I checked the air gap to the coil from the flywheel that sends the pulse to make it spark. Changed the spark plug to an older spark plug in case that new one was bad. But I checked them both and they were sparking. I just plugged it in to the wall outlet and it's turning counterclockwise. I thought maybe I hooked those up backwards and maybe it's turning clockwise when it should be turning counterclockwise. So we'll have to see if we can fire it up. We're going to try this again. Let's see what happens. Give it my last hurrah. Maybe we can get this thing going, or not. Okay. Key is on. Shot of starting fluid. It'll do something here, huh? better than it did the other day. Let's try this thing. It just isn't starting. Just don't get it. This thing should at least fire or do something here. Okay, well, I guess that's the end of that. Tried the last few things. Compression, I must have busted a big time ring in that last time I fired it up. So, I thought of those 3 things and I tried all 3 things and it still did work. So, it is officially dead. Hey YouTubers, I knew I had to do a conclusion to this engine problem. And I made this pretty short segment. I looked at some other engines online to see if I could find another Toro snowblower engine for this. And most of the ones I look on online, they want $100 and it still does, and they're having a hard time starting it. So this is got a starting issue, but I know it runs and I want $100 for it. That's not good for me. I can't find rings for this. It's just crazy. So I thought I would take it apart to see if there was a, I've had motors and stuff where I pulled the piston out and the rings just fell off the motor. That gave me like, okay, there's where all the compression was going. I did run a compression test later on and ran 2 or 3 of them, and the best I caught, I think, was I got like a 42 and 40, so it was down significantly lower. But I've had 4 cycles that, I see them smoke a lot, and I'm like, geez, this thing's like on its last leg, and I did a compression check, and I get like, 38, 35, I'm like, how can this thing run? I've had things in the 40s I just can't get to start, So I've had one that was like 37, 38 PSI, and that thing ran, smoked. When it first started up, and it went through the oil very gradually, but it did go through the oil, and it was bad compression, but the thing fired. So when I found this thing to be, in the 40s, I was like, well, I got that one in lower than this to fire, so I don't know. Maybe it's the 4 cycles can stand a little bit less compression and run, but I've had small block Chevys and Fords I've run into over the years where you turn them over and there's more coming out where you put the oil in through the breather hole, the oil fill hole, than there is coming out of the exhaust. So you got a whole bunch of blow by. But let's take a look at this engine and I'll show you the piston. It has some good cross hatching, has a few scratches. There's a scratch right there. There's a scratch there. But I ran my fingernail past it and there's a there's a scratch right there too. I can't get my fingernail in it, so it's not deep. And here's the piston. I'll shut my light up now. Scored. I thought, well, maybe the rings got lined up right across from one another, but they're not. Here's the one ring opening here, and here's the other one over here, so they're not lined up, so they're not blowing by that way. It's got some scoring here. It's got some really bad scoring here. And the top of the piston is just typical soot. I don't know what, I said it didn't have good compression. I thought I'd pull this thing out and the rings would fall out, or there'd be a big gouge down the side of it when I was running it. Maybe I blew something apart, or the ring broke and dug a big groove down the side of the piston. I don't know. I just... all that work that I put into this, and then it doesn't run. Well, it did run. It ran for a while, but not that I wanted to. I wanted to run better. Now, if I would have had that bigger sprocket on there and ran it up the street, and it ran fine, and then died, I'd be happy. I mean, I should be happy that I got it going and got everything back together. But it's just just left me unsatisfied. So, well, we'll have to try some other project. I'm going to have to get myself an engine that runs and make sure I've got everything running perfectly before I start the project. It's not very often I can't get an engine to run. Usually they're pretty bad shape. Bad carburetor, whatever. At least they'll fire with, that's why I couldn't understand why this thing wouldn't even fire with ether. Putt or something. It wouldn't even putt. It wouldn't even putt for a little bit. So, alright, well that's the end of this. And hopefully my next project will be better. Alright, see ya. Thanks for stopping in and watching. Alright, bye. Oh, don't forget to hit the subscribe button.